Hey, trying to kill me. It is about 3:30 in the morning. And we are off to work. Not ideal, but I am always on call. So they called. They were my alarm this morning. Missed about an hour of sleep, which it's not terrible. They called right around 3, so I was going to sleep till 4:30 today. Lost about an hour and a half of sleep, but get up. They already woke me up, so instead of getting a crappy last hour and a half, figured just go in, go to work. Yeah, is what it is. The only thing that sucks is like starting your day super early. Is obviously now you're awake. Typically, I'm probably still going to go to bed around the same time, so my hours awake have increased, and the food's the same. So that makes it a little bit harder. I got 2 coffees this morning. I typically drink 2 cups anyway at the house, so I'm hoping if I could slow this down a little bit, I will have my coffee till about 7, and then, so over the next 3-4 hours, I'll start my first meal, and then have my second meal, and then everything will kind of be on time if I can push that first meal to about 7:30. And finding that that's been more beneficial for my mood is to kind of, because I used to fast anyway. I used to fast till about 11 every day. Now granted, when I'd break the fast, I would have a bigger meal anyway. Now I'm really, so that made it something more to look forward to. And I was starting my food around 6:30 because I was hungry, but I've been just saying, fuck it, I'd rather be a little bit more hungry, a little bit more, aggravated maybe at work than, starting my meal so early that by the time I get home, I'm starving at 5 for dinner and it's not that much food. Because I only have 2 really good sized meals. My dinner and my call it after dinner meal is smaller. So it's like I'm just going to, as soon as I get home, basically, I'm just starving all day and then I'm aggravated. I'd rather be able to push it. Like I said, I've fasted before, so what's another hour, an hour and a half until I start my meals. And then I'm typically 3 to 4 hours every meal, and not so food oriented lately. Like I said, I've not been just focusing on when my next meal is and counting it down. Just, okay, it's 4 hours. Oh, it's 4 and a half. All right, let's go eat some food. We have hit some new lows yesterday. I was hoping today. The thing with, if you sleep a little bit more, you tend to wake up lighter, right? So if I would have slept till 8 a.m. today, I probably would have woke up a pound and a half lighter. Getting up so early did probably affect the scale. Not a huge deal because it's not a scale show, right? It's a bodybuilding show. But I was 187.4 yesterday, I believe. I can't check my notes because they're on my phone. I think it was 187.4. And today I woke up at like 188.4 or 188.8 or something like that. So I'm about a pound up, which is totally normal, but I was expecting to be down a little bit lower, but didn't get to sleep in. So it is what it is. The weight's still coming off. She took my cardio away. I've just been basically just tracking steps, make sure I get about 10,000 steps in a day. So I am pretty active. So it's not like I'm doing no cardio. It's just I'm not doing specific cardio for the show as far as a bike or a treadmill, which in my head, this is kind of why you hire a coach, is like, hey, couldn't I just do, in my opinion, I would think if I want 300 more calories a day and I'm still maintaining a deficit, I'll just do 300 calories worth of burning cardio. Right, so me and my coach were discussing last night, like, hey, I'm not starving by any means. Like, it could be worse always, but I wouldn't hate a little bit more food. Could I do 300 calories on the treadmill and have 300 more calories? Because I don't really mind the cardio. I actually kind of like it. Just kind of break things up, do something different, get a little more sweat going. It never really bothered me. And she's like, well, not really. Everything's working so perfect. Your weight's coming off. We've barely had manipulated your diet, and you're on a roll. It's not broke. Don't fix it. And I thought, about that as well. Like, everything's working. So, hey, let's change it. Like, why would you do that? So reaching out to her, and she's like, well, just because the scale, the counter on the treadmill says 300 calories burned, doesn't necessarily mean 300, right? If, let's say, me versus a 400-pound dude gets on that, and then we both walk a mile and a half, he's going to burn substantially more than 300 calories in that mile and a half, even if the treadmill says 300 calories burned. With me, I don't know, but there's no way me and him can walk at the same pace, same time, and burn the same amount of calories. So it's not really accurate. I just got an Apple Watch. I actually broke down and got one. It's not lighting up because I'm supposed to be sleeping. Broke down and got one to track stuff a little more accurately. Wore my wife for a couple days, loved it, but she's like, even that won't be 100% accurate. When we know our food's 100% accurate, why increase food 100% accurately at 300 calories and maybe burn off 300 when it could be 150 or it could be 200? Or she's like, it's not broke, don't fix it. So I think that's always a good lesson, a good reminder. Like, if everything's working, don't change anything just because. Well, I want more food, so I'm going to burn more calories. Well, maybe that'll work. But everything was perfect, and you decided to throw things off. Like, I think that's too, even then, like powerlifting. Like, everybody at the last second, like, well, what if I did this, and then what if I cut? And it's like, we just did 12 perfect weeks, and you want to mess it up in the last couple days because you want to go for a arbitrary record in some state local federation. It's like, unless you're a big-time world record going for best of the best, it's really pointless. Everything's been working. Change nothing, right? So that's where we're at. Should be looking to do a refeed the next week or two. So once that scale hits 185, go out, get another steak hopefully. And then the nice thing is my calories will probably be increased as long as this weight still keeps coming off weekly until the show after this week, I'm guessing, because I'm trying to keep that size, that fullness, and not come in skinny, right? So that's kind of the plan. I don't want to. Everybody keeps asking me, what are you going to weigh? And I have no idea. I'm already 188. I thought I'd step on stage around 50 pounds lost, the total prep, starting off at 236. That puts me at 186.6. So, I'm already right there. Figured maybe 2 pounds a week. Well, that came off pretty quick. So I've been prepping for, I want to say, 15 weeks. I'm about little under 7 weeks out. So 7, 15, 5. I can't do math right now. 7 weeks out. Well, because I added a show, though. So it's a 26-week total prep. So this will be 21 minus 7. So 15 weeks, 14 weeks in, 15 weeks in rough. Call it 15 weeks. I'm down 49 pounds, 48, almost 50. So I thought this is where I'd be on stage. Obviously, we have more work to do, and things are leaning out well anyway. Like, my lower back is finally starting to lean out, starting to get that Christmas tree-ish. Not as striated as I'd like, but again, I have 7 and 11 weeks, a little under 7 and 11, so there's time there. But yeah, I don't know if I want to see the scale say 170 anything. It's terrifying. And light heavyweight's like 176 to 198, so I don't exactly want to be 176 in a class where guys can have 20 more pounds of muscle. It's very hard to beat, but again, it's not a scale contest. It's not a body fat percentage contest, right? It doesn't matter what the scale says. It doesn't matter what your body fat is, which I might do a DEXA scan. They have one down the road for me. Or one of the ones you hold the thing just for my knowledge and get some stats on this, because I don't know when I'll do this again. And then I'll also do blood work. So if I do that, I'll update you guys on the YouTubes and just see kind of how my experience was. I've never done either of those. I wish I would have done like the body fat at minimum. One of the gyms I used to go to had one of those. I should have bought a day pass before and see how fat I fucking got. I didn't, but it'd be interesting just to see what my numbers say on that. Well, there's one you hold in your hand, and the DEXA scan, I think you lay down and it scans you. So I might schedule one of those just for my own knowledge. But yeah, we're just under 7 weeks out of the first one, and I finally this past weekend I had a daddy-daughter dance anyway, and I had a nicer haircut. Every once in a while I'll go to this nice barber that does beards and haircuts. They're very hard to get in for haircuts. Usually I can sneak in a beard appointment if I schedule like a month out. This time I actually scheduled 2 months out. A little more planning when it comes to daddy-daughter stuff. And I actually got a haircut the first time there, and then a beard trim to where, because I was doing my side poses, my beard was over my chest where you miss a lot of the fullness and the separation and the veininess in my chest just because of the beard. So I'm like, you know what? I was talking to my buddy Finn. He's like, you're going to diet for fucking 6 months, but you're not going to trim an inch off your beard to show it off. I was like, yeah, I guess that is kind of stupid. So I had to bring down the beard a little bit, which now my posing, it doesn't really affect it. So you can still see everything. So it's probably about the perfect length. So I'll probably keep it this length or go back to the barber rather before the show. But now to me it changed my face. Now my face looks super thin. I went to a client's hockey game and the mom sent me the picture of me and the kid. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my face is so skinny. So I think obviously the diet has brought the face down, the cheekbones more prominent, and then just the beard trim too. Kind of slimming that beard down, slimmed my face down a lot. Kind of threw me off a little bit, threw me for a loop. I did a double take staring at myself. But it means everything's working, everything's going in the right direction. I should have done a picture of my fat face every day while I dieted down, but those are things you really don't think about. I do have to say, if everybody does any one of these preps, the funnest part's almost like now. Sure, not food-wise, but you get so many quicker changes this deep into prep. Like as far as the first, call it 6 weeks, your diet's new, so you're dieting down. You're still figuring out how to prep correctly, how to get in the kitchen, how to buy all the right stuff. You're getting all the, not cooking too much rice and way too much potatoes and not enough chicken. Like you got everything. You're not dialed down on that, so it's kind of a little more frustrating prepping food. You're not strong because you're not training for strength, so you're trying to add some more reps and you're getting out of breath. But the workouts are still pretty good. But you don't have the strength that you had when you were a powerlifter just weeks earlier, and you don't look good. So you're doing all these new things, new diet, new groceries, new training where you're not strong, and you don't look good for 6-8 weeks. To me, that was almost the hardest part because you're just kind of in fucking. You feel like you're in neutral hitting the gas. And you're just like, oh, great. Yep, I look the same. Yep, still fat. Awesome. Great. Yep, still chicken and rice. Great. And now it's like, okay, the diet's locked in. I'm getting very good at prepping my food. I can get everything done for the entire week in under 2 hours and the kitchen cleaned. So that, I'm really locked in there. And it's it's not every day, but definitely every couple days, every week, you're like, oh, there's a new vein. Oop, is that a fucking vein in my glute? Oh, is that glute separation from the hamstring? Oop, that looks good. Now I could see the changes a lot. My wife was giving me shit the other day. Yesterday, typically Sundays is kind of like our day, our reset day. We get to train together, hang out together. Sometimes we'll get a babysitter. And we were training, and she's like, you're just full of yourself, aren't you? Just kind of giving me shit. And I'm like, who else am I supposed to be full of? I should love the way I look, and obviously I'd rather stare at her than me, but if I'm going to stare in the next person after my wife, it's going to be myself. Got to be full of somebody. And I also know this is short-lived, so take pictures, monitor results, check in all the time. And I always say there's only room for one douchebag at a time at the gym, and I clearly fill that quota. So, yep, there's going to be a little bit more posing in the gym and checking yourself out. Sure. But I'm also earning it, and I do like to see the day-to-day changes if they are even minimal. To me, I notice them. And two, it's like, also I do need to work on posing. So if I hit a front double bicep like a douchebag, I'm also trying to make sure my lats are set. So yeah, if you're going to be full of anybody, might as well be full of yourself. And with this whole diet thing too, I've been thinking about, because I always kind of get everybody's like, oh, you're so busy. How do you do it? You got the businesses, you got still got, kids at home, still work a 9 to 5, which is not a 9 to 5 today. It's a 3 to 2:30, 3 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. And then I got to go home, eat, change, and go train kids for all night. How do you do it? So I'm really, going to probably in the next couple weeks come out with a program tailored just for busy dads. I know not everybody's going to be doing a bodybuilding show, right? So the training's going to be specific towards just general fitness and general strength. I'm going to help with diet. Now that I have a little bit better grasp on that, I can help with grocery lists, help with maybe some supplementation, lead you guys in the right direction for blood work, so you know what you're actually supplementing, not just. So I've gotten that question a lot lately too. How do you know what to take? Well, you just grab those things. What should I take? What are you deficient in? What do you mean? Well, to supplement isn't to add to, right? Because you're supplementing because you have a deficient. If I'm just grabbing things and shoving pills in my mouth and I don't know what I'm deficient in, it doesn't really, I mean, it could help, but it could hurt. And also, if you have a ton of vitamin D from a blood test and you take a bunch of vitamin D, why overdo it, right? So that's why I get the blood work done, to see what I'm actually deficient in, to supplement for it. So stuff like that I want to help guys with. I'm thinking like, I want to just commit myself to like 10 dads who are busy, who still want to find time to train, still want to look better, still want to be stronger. Maybe you're not going to have a giant transformation like to a bodybuilding stage, right? We think we know that, but can we have a giant life transformation to where like, this is not a 6-week challenge or 8-week challenge like we're about to wrap up with my current clients in this 2025 kickoff challenge, because our company does like doing those, but a sustainable program to where this is not 6 weeks of my goals over, or here's my goal, now it's over. This is my life now, and how do I maintain this? And okay, this guy does it, how does he do it? Oh, perfect, I can text him, this is how you do it. Or other guys in the group, what are you guys struggling with this week? Oh, how do we all adjust for this? How do we keep each other motivated? So be looking for that down the pipeline of call it I don't know what I called that. I was building the website yesterday. I was going to actually do that this morning, but here I am. But yeah, definitely a dad program just for, busy day-to-day dad who is trying to fit everything in and find that balance, right, that is really almost unachievable while we're, doing everything it is besides, a lot of your favorite YouTube influencers have all day to eat, train, and sleep. Me, I have 50 minutes a day to train, and I have 2 hours to get all my food prepped for the week, and I have to go to work sometimes at 3 in the morning. So I think it'll be a little bit more relatable for guys. So look out for that in the next couple weeks, and then also look out for new shirts. We got new Be Better shirts I designed last week. Those are hot off the press. I'll put them, hopefully, if I remember, I'll put them in the link below. And then I'm also going to be doing new hats too. So be on the lookout for new dad hats. Very dad oriented lately, trying to help everybody out. So, but we just got to work, go see what the trouble is, get some lights on, and then we'll report back later. Okay, shift is finally over. I tell you what, getting up at 3 to train and being aware of that is a lot different than getting woken up at 3 from a phone call to go into work. Typically my earliest I'll usually get up is like 3:45 to go train, even that extra 45 minutes, and knowing that, maybe I'll try to go to bed a little bit early the night before, as well as I'm getting to train as opposed to going to bed around 10, waking up at 3-ish, and having to work in the morning, early hours in the morning. Usually it doesn't bother me as much. Today it's just about 5 hours into my shift, I just fucking hit a wall. Feet got heavy, got real tired, I shouldn't say 5 hours. I was up at 3, around 7. I was able to delay my meal till 7:30. So I had my meal at 7:30 after my first job. Gave me a little bit of energy, but it's a little bit of food, right? Call it, it fits in a cup this big. It's some little fruit, 35 grams of oats, 120 grams of fruit, 20 grams of honey, and then a little almond milk, silk unsweetened milk, whatever the fuck that is. So I got probably a little bit of energy for that, and then talking to people, kind of, just being around people that are up, bullshitting. But man, as soon as I got to that second job around 8:30, probably about 9-ish, man, I started to crash. Just boots heavy. I always got to do like a grip test when I was grabbing something, and I could tell like my grip was just kind of a little weak. Yeah, I could just, everything kind of just slowing down. So luckily we were able to wrap that second job up and I could take lunch, but man, it sure hit me today. So plan is, it's about 2:30 now. Plan is to run home and nap before I have to train some clients. I got 4 kids tonight. So I trained till clients to about 7. So I'm going to run home, catch some Z's, wake up, go eat, which should help me bring that energy level up. It's that biggest meal that I'm always bragging about, the rice and avocado and chicken. That should bring the mood up, bring the energy up, because I got 3 hours of training kids. I want to be full and energized. They don't, not that they don't care, but they don't care that if you're up at 3 in the morning. Like, they're coming ready to train hard, especially this group of kids. So I got to make sure I want to give them 100% of me. And that's the thing we've talked about before, of balance, of like giving 100%, like giving 100% when you're there, right? Because everybody wants 100% of you, but if I give you 50% trainer and then I'm on my phone and dragging ass, then you got 50% of time, and nobody wants 50% of anybody, right? You want 100% engaged when you're there. So that's the plan. We'll get some rest, maybe hour, maybe 45 minutes, catch up a little bit, slam that food, which also, like the nap too, will add, time between that meal to where, it doesn't seem so long without eating, because obviously you're sleeping. So that does help prorate that to about 3:15, 3:30. And then the last meal, I'll probably just wait till I get home and have that right around 7 o'clock in the evening. And then right around, probably, I might go to bed a little earlier tonight, so probably right at 9, I'll have that last smaller meal with the banana and the protein powder and stuff. So that should push me till 9, and then I like to get to bed a little after 9. And real curious on the weight again. We talked about that earlier, about the weight. If it decreases much, being that hopefully I'll get some, call it 7 hours of sleep tonight maybe. If the scale will drop even farther. We'll see. I'm trying to doing the whole Apple everything, so like it'll tell you, hey, at 9:15, 9:20 start winding down. Maybe we don't start that second episode of whatever, right? Maybe my wife kind of start getting things tidied up for bedtime. Hopefully the girls are in bed by then. And then, I think my thing's set to go to bed at 9:40 and wake up at 4:40. So we'll see if I can stick with that. And then it also track my sleep, so it'll say like, let's see what I got last night. Try not to crash. I just got this thing, so give me a second. So last night, let's see, said awake for 3 minutes, so it took me 3 minutes to fall asleep, which I've always said it takes me a couple minutes and I'm out. REM is 47, core 320, and deep 36. So what's that, a total of 5-ish hours? I don't know why it's not giving me all of it. 6 hours and 17 minutes? I don't know. I don't get that. Well, either way. About 5 hours. I think it ended up being like 5 hours and 30 minutes. I might be on the wrong day. But by about 5.5 hours last night. So I'm curious if I can get that average up to over 6. How everything will feel and how my weight, if the weight will have a big move on it. Because we were talking in the podcast last week, the Let's Get Stupid one that me and Tom Finn do, about how to, about sleeping and sleeping times, and the research has shown that getting up at about the same time every day, or the exact same time, I call about, depending on my schedule, it's between 4 and 5, is like the best thing you can do for your body, as opposed to, say, you get up at 5 every day during Monday through Friday, and then Saturday you sleep till 10 a.m., right? You're kind of, is it more sleep beneficial? Sure. But also can throw you off your routine, and then getting back into that routine can be hard. So I try to wake up every day at 5 at the latest. Typically, I have to give it 4:30. I like a half hour before my wife wakes up to kind of make sure the coffee's ready, get her cup to the side. I get some quiet time in my office. Not that she ever really bothers me. I usually have till about 6 in the morning to do what I need to do. But something about being up before everybody in a quiet house, I take some kind of solitude in. I couldn't really explain it, but I just like it. So I usually get up at 4:30 every day, and then even on the weekends, I'm not really going out much, so it does make it easier. But even when I was going out with like my buddies on a Saturday night to the bar, maybe drinking, having some drinks till midnight, catching up, I would typically still get up about 5 in the morning, and then later I would throw in a nap if I had to. So maybe around lunch, I would throw in a nap just to kind of recover those hours that I missed, and again the next day up at the exact same time. And I think once you build that routine and you do feel better, or you will feel better having that consistency, and your body does feel better. And even like I have a problem lately kind of sleeping through the night. All of a sudden I'm a light sleeper. I weigh light, so now I sleep light. I really don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I should be, the sleep apnea, the snoring, the stuff is all decreased, the neck size decreased, everything about my body's healthier than it was 6-7 months ago. Oh, even 4 months ago. And I almost sleep worse, which is really strange. But it's could be because I'm pounding water, and sometimes I gotta wake up to pee, but a lot of times I'm just a light sleeper. So but yeah, even so, that if I sleep a little light, I'll still, if I have to, I'll get up, or I'll nap during the day or whatever. But just that routine, like I said, of that 5 a.m. wake up is proven to be like, I'll just get up. That's what I was getting at. I'll just get up on my own anyway. If I'm going to get up at 4, sometimes my body just gets up at 3:58. And then just go, okay, I guess we're up. Or if my dog gets, there's always a rule I follow too, by my buddy Charlie Zamora, is if you're up within he says an hour, but I do like a half hour. If my alarm's set for 4:30 and I wake up at 4 to pee, I'm not going back to bed, because that makes it so much harder for me to actually get up at 4:30. I don't know what cycle of sleep I'm in, if I get past 30 more minutes in, but it screws me up to where I don't want to get up, and then I'll keep hitting the snooze, and I don't like doing that. So, but like I said before, I'm going to do some dad stuff. That's how I ended the last video at, but some kind of busier lifestyle. I'm just going to call it like the Dad Life program, where it's a set of workouts delivered, every 2 to 4 weeks, but it's a monthly subscription. We set up a group chat with the guys, the dads, do some video stuff, do some motivation stuff just for that group. I'm going to take about 10 of them. I think we got 3 signups already. I'm going to start promoting it here soon. I just got to build the website out a little bit better. I was going to do that this morning, but it didn't happen. So, looking forward to doing that. So if you're a dad, you're interested, you saw this on YouTube, and you think I'm, a lot of things, if I am one thing, it's relatable. Same guy on YouTube as I am on Instagram, as I am on any social media platform. It doesn't really change. This is just a longer form. And then same guy that you meet in person, or, you see a lot of influencers, especially around this Arnold time. There are these crazy influencers, and they're wild, and they never as crazy as you think they are when you meet them, or they're just kind of a letdown. So I try to stay pretty consistent. So if this interests you, let me know. Like I said, I'll be posting about it mainly on my Instagram for promotion hopefully by the end of the week. Just I'll have that website. I should have time to have that website built out, and then get some more dads going, get some more dads in shape, and also I just got my mock hats back. Obviously, you can tell I love this logo that my tattoo artist created. It's the Callus Barbell logo, the working class lifter. I got this camo one, snapback. I got this gray, it's called the mesh back snapback. I got these sport, more athletic. This is also a mesh back. I like these mesh backs a lot more. You can rinse them off easier, get the sweat off and clean them. So I'm going to do one like this that's white with a white logo instead of black on black. I'm going to do white on white. And it's going to be a dad hat. Speaking of dads, might as well throw a dad hat in there. And then as well as a one just like this, but in black. The other one was black camo, and it's not a mesh back. This is going to be a black mesh back. So those should be in the next couple weeks, as well as those new shirts are pre-order only. So new Be Better shirts. So if you like what you see and you want to support some of the stuff that I do, is going to be through hats and the new Be Better shirts. So I hope you guys check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I don't have any training footage for today because I'm not training. I trained yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to hit some hamstrings, and I did break and I ordered a new phone. This thing just, it dies so often. I think I did a YouTube video last week, 1 week ago. By the time, let's see, I got up at like 4. I think it was my birthday one. So it was exactly a week ago. I got up at 4. I recorded a little bit of content in the morning at the house, barely any really. Recorded at the gym a little bit. And then I recorded on the way to work, I believe. So maybe I recorded 25 total minutes on my phone, and it was at 20% at 7 a.m. I just get tired of it. So I ordered a new phone, got the new watch as well, and just diving in, I suppose. So hopefully it'll be in today, and then this will be the last, I wouldn't say unclear, because I do think this camera is actually pretty good, but even a crisper, cleaner image coming into the YouTube. So that doesn't suck either. But had to bite the bullet, get something a little bit more updated, and yeah, so looking forward to that. Appreciate you guys listening, commenting, supporting, liking it all. I see them all. I see all the comments. I check them. Usually kind of more obsessed with how my YouTube does and my Instagram, just because it's, I'm trying to take you guys along this journey with me and see if you guys like it and see if it's something I should continue doing. So thanks for the support. I'll see you later in the week.